Hey everyone, and welcome to BPX After Dark, Daytime Extra, a show that breaks down special events, projects, dates, and silos within the BPX ecosystem. Now, without further delay, let's get to this episode of BPX After Dark, Daytime Extra.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Radish Digital Studios here in Syracuse, New York. We have a very big show today. This is a special BPX After Dark Daytime Special Edition. I'm here with JennConn, and we have a couple guests we're going to be talking to. And let's get to that first guest right away, because there was some huge news in the Blokpax community over the last 24 hours. We have Tito with us, and he is going to talk about something that happened with him and Alpha involving Miner 9999. So, Tito and Alpha, welcome. What do you have for us?
Good to be here. And you have to excuse my maybe confused look at times, because I am just looking at a screen of boxes and names. So
No problem.
you can see me on video, but yeah, thanks for having me on. And yes, as of yesterday, the last NFT minted in the last NFT contract and NFT collection on the proof of work was traded to our one of the whales in the community, Mr. Alpha Block. And but I can say, I mean, obviously I was it's been a wonderful year and a half, which is kind of crazy to say that the miners have been out that long. It seemed like yesterday when we had our claim passes and we're minting the mini miners we were so gracefully given by the Blokpax community. And I'll never forget I wasn't in Discord at the time, and all of a sudden my phone just blew up on that day when the reveal came out that I got 999, and it was just like one of those just out of this world moments. And was so blessed to have scored that butte. And if you could imagine what my DMs look like after that. And certainly one of the guys that was in my DMs was Mr. Alpha. And, he's always has been a gracious member of the community. And he said, if you ever want to sell this thing, don't forget about me. And, as we've gone through the evolution of Blokpax and getting to know each other, and I've followed Alpha on various social media outlets, and seen his incredible fondness of art and collecting, and just this and I think we all have it. We're all in the center of our being just kids at heart, right? And this is kind of probably what draws us all together to Blokpax is being in touch with that our child self. So with that, it was, to kind of get back to what happened yesterday, and it really, I knew I wanted to hold on to 9999 for a while. Everybody's kind of probably in their life either held on to an investment too long or too short. And for me, it's always been, I'm a little bit of the Wagner guy, right? I hold on to it too long and end up selling at the low point. I certainly did that in the NFT bust and boom, if you will, in 21 and part of 22. Certainly we have a long way to go with the lost miners and the legacy foundation that will be supporting, the lost miners forever and ever. So I certainly see this token becoming a center point of the collection as it grows. And So anyways, I was it was the right time, and I as we all can, we love to have some infusion of capital and to diversify our asset
Nice.
portfolio, and that was an opportunity. And Alpha was ready to make that move too, and here we are. It's in his
Yeah.
wallet.
Now, Alpha, what is it about this miner? Is it the provenance of it, or is it the style of miner? What is it that drew you to this?
Well, first off, I'll say, because it's kind of interesting. I've always wanted this particular miner, and it's not really about the artwork, and it's definitely not about the style or traits of that miner. It's 100% about it being token number 9999, and I actually wanted that token before the art was ever revealed on it, because I truly believe it's part of blockchain history. And yeah, I was surprised and excited when Tito reached out to me. Literally, I guess it was the day before yesterday, um, and said that he was considering selling it. I'm gonna tell you what his asking price was on it, because I think it's probably maybe important for the community to know that. I will preface this by saying I had no intentions of talking about this at all. But it kind of, I guess it kind of broke. People started talking about it. So it's probably best just to let everyone know actually what happened. He sent me a message.
That would be wonderful.
He sent me a message. He was asking $50,000 for it. And he sent me a really cool, concise little thing that said, "Why 50,000?" And I'll read it to you really fast, because he did it concise in bullet points, and it was pretty great how he laid it out. And he said, "The last NFT minted on the last collection, launched from the last contract deployed on Ethereum's proof of work, the alpha token of Lost Miners, Blokpax only, legacy collection. Blokpax has allocated 500 million BPX, establishing the Lost Miners Legacy Foundation. Its stated purpose is to reward those who facilitate the advancement of the Lost Miners and help increase awareness of this historic collection. All this comes on the heels of potential exponential growth in the Blokpax ecosystem." And it's funny because I 100% agree with what he wrote there. It's just a matter of getting to, a price anywhere near that $50,000 asking price. There was a couple things though that were really important to me that he left out of his very well-crafted sales pitch, and there are things that don't really get talked about much within the community. And I think it's probably, if these things were talked about more, the floor prices of miners might not be where they're so readily accessible to be able to buy. And those two things that matter a lot to me, first one is that there's a plan in place eventually for the artwork to be put on the blockchain. So the artwork for the miners to be put on the blockchain. That's important because when that occurs, I think, is this magical time when you could combine that with a public relations campaign and get a whole bunch of awareness about this collection. And so there's something big planned with that, putting on the blockchain, that I think can draw a whole lot of eyes into the collection and the historical significance of the collection as a whole. And so that's something that I think is really important and exciting to me. The other thing, and it's probably the biggest thing in my mind that really drives the value, or what I perceive the value to be for miners long term, we never hear it really talked about, but I'm going to try to explain it and see if it makes any sense at all. But in real life, the Ethereum miners, the guys that were out mining Ethereum, they literally built this technological wonder. So without the miners, we wouldn't have Ethereum as we know it now, and we wouldn't have all these other chains and the side chains and the entire technology would not have advanced to where it has advanced to at this point. Those miners were like essential for it. Everything got to a point though where we had to get acceptance from the whole outside world. And in order to do that, we basically blamed the failures of Ethereum, the fact that maybe it wasn't green enough, and that there was other issues with it that made it inefficient, kind of on the miners. And they were like the face of the negative side of the blockchain. And they then literally just got the lights turned off on them. And I'm not by any means saying that this was a necessary or important part of the evolution of the blockchain. I'm just saying it's one of these things that happened. But these people that had built the technology, helped it get to the point that it was at, then had the lights turned off on them. And they literally, a lot of them lost a whole lot of money. They'd made big investments in infrastructure and things, and it just got kind of like pulled out from under them. And it's amazing that this Lost Miner project, being the last contract deployed on the proof of work, 100%, in my mind, I don't believe that it is possible for any project ever in the future to better represent that group of people. And what they did for us, and the fact that they just got lost. They're gone. They're forgotten. People don't care about the miners anymore. And I believe that group of people, the vast majority of them, have no idea that there's this PFP project that is historically significant, and it 100% represents them as a person. It represents who they are. I've never seen a PFP project ever that better represents a certain group of people. And so then when you look at how big that group of people is, it's staggering. Because when the plug was pulled, there were 1 million people mining Ethereum. 1 million miners lost in the blink of an eye. And now we have this project that 100% represents those miners. And it's amazing that they're going to chase 10,000 tokens. So at some point in the future, the world's going to know about the Lost Miner project. And that's easy. It's funny, I talked to Jeff about this a little bit. That part of it, that awareness, that can be bought. So it's not hard. It's just a matter of timing it right and doing it. But the awareness that's needed for all these people to find out about it, that's going to happen at some point in the future. And it's all about timing it right. My opinion is that whenever the art goes on the blockchain, it's the perfect time to really start that public relations campaign and get this information and the story out to the whole world. But once it gets out to the world, there's a group of 1 million plus people that this project 100% represents them as a person. And there's only 10,000 tokens. And so you don't really have to be a rocket scientist to be able to do the math on that and understand that $200 is probably not going to be the price for very long once that awareness happens. And so, for me, I'm in no hurry, and I'm completely, but I 100% believe. And it's kind of funny because before I bought 9999, I talked to one of my partners, and we were talking about the price, and he asked me, he said, do you think that this token 9999 is worth more than 200 miners, 200 floor miners? And I told him, no, I don't believe that it's worth 200 miners. But I also believe that it's the only token that represents the very last of the last contract. And that last is what makes the project so important. The fact that it's not just representing, the art and the story about being lost miners, it is the last contract. And this is the last token minted on that contract. You can't replace it. So whereas
Right.
I might always be able to buy a floor miner, the price may be way higher than it is right now. I'll always be able to buy floor miners, but the last token, there's a good chance if it's not me that's buying it, someone else buys it. I never have an opportunity to buy that again in my lifetime. And so, and there's a really good possibility that no one in our lifetime has the chance to buy that token again now. So that's why that token was so important to me. And it's why I was willing to, I think, probably pay more for the token than what the current, if you were just looking at the market conditions and what's going on and floor prices of the miners, it may not make a whole lot of sense if that's the only context you're looking at, but I'm looking at a context way outside that. And so what I ended up giving Tito for this token, and Tito, I guess I'll ask, are you okay with me divulging this?
Oh, 110%. Absolutely.
Okay, so what we actually ended up agreeing on, I gave him 10,000 USDC, 500,000 BPX, and $1 million, or not dollars, 1 million BPX in, that'd be great. Sorry, Tito, but 1 million BPX in future drips. And so basically, I think it comes out to be around, $40,000, or maybe a little more, a little less. And so it may be outside of what would make sense in just the context of current floor prices, etc. But it makes a whole lot of sense to me. And I think it made sense for Tito, and I think he was happy. I'm definitely happy. And I think it's one of those rare cases where two people came together and agreed upon something having a value outside of maybe what a current market would say. And so I'm super excited to have it. And I 100% believe in the miners project and what the future for this project's going to be. And definitely think that there's a lot of opportunity within it right now.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us and giving us your views on the miners and the future of them and the history of them too, and your feelings on that. It's really wild. Tito, did you have any plans? Do you have your eye on something you want to add to your collection now? Did you have a little walking around money, so to speak?
Yeah, actually, once I got the money, I knew when I was going to get the money that I was going to reinvest it in Blokpax because I believe in the project that much. I just, as I kind of said earlier, I wanted to diversify my portfolio of Blokpax, which was, inherently hidden in 9999. And I'm just so glad that Alpha and I have that mutual respect for each other, and certainly mutual respect for that token to make this deal. But yeah, moving forward, I have some cool things that I'm doing with some other folks within the community, and certainly I think I'm not the market maker that maybe I once was, but I'm hoping that BPX is bottoming out, and so that was a good time to pick up some BPX, and as Eric maybe will tell us later, that they're going to create some more for the token, and ultimately more demand. So I'm happy as I can be.
Yes.
I appreciate Alpha for so eloquently revealing to us his collector's thesis. I feel like usually when I was in the DMs, I was kind of doing the typing, so I was the solicitor. But I think we all look up to Alpha and his years and years and years of collecting just about everything that you can possibly do, and even losing things that you can possibly collect too.
Right.
Anyways, yeah, this is a great moment in time, I think.
This was awesome. I want to thank you, Tito, you, Alpha, for coming on. It was a historic day, in the Blokpax world. And we got to hear from both of you firsthand about the deal. So this was wonderful.
Thanks for having me.
And finally, I'd like to thank all of you, our listeners and followers. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you all soon. Seacrest out.
You've been listening to BPX After Dark, Daytime Extra. Thank you for tuning into our show. A special thanks to those in the audience who raised their hand and came up on stage, helping to make BPX the best community. BPX is a community built by collectors for collectors. That's it for this show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.